Hello there, this is Bick Benedict. We're playing Rise of the Tomb Raider on the PC on Survivor difficulty. This is my guide and walkthrough for the aforementioned title and difficulty. Over there to the left is a tomb if you want to partake in it. There's some coins in there and some different items for you. I don't remember what it gives you, the codex that is. But anyway, we're trying to find a way to the Acropolis as it says right there. And this is a pretty interesting chapter because it has stealth sections along with combat sections, and they're both quite challenging. So it's definitely one of the areas in the game in which you might need a helping hand. So I'm here to give you one. And if you don't need one, perhaps you're here just for the entertainment value of the videos, and I appreciate that. And for those who need help, we'll get you guys through those. For those who don't, I kind of understand because the game, even at its hardest, it's never approaching the level of difficulty. You guessed what I'm going to say. It just never approaches the level of your Uncharted's. So, we are going to make our way up here. I really like this area of the game. And I think the first thing we're going to do is a stealth encounter. So there's a couple of stealth encounters in this game that I've gone through them an initial time when I first played this game, and some of them are borderline like not doable in my opinion. There might be some kind of a genius way to do it, but having spent a lot of time with this game and trying to do some of these sections, sometimes it doesn't feel like you can stealth an area. Sneak past, sometimes, yeah, you can, but I'm talking about actually taking things down. But definitely want to, I keep harping on it, but reconnoiter the environment. We're going to take this guy out first of all. And this is the pattern that I like to use. This pattern: take him out, take his friend out, head over there to the left. Feel free to sprint if you like. And then this is, okay, that's the easy part. This is where it gets a little tricky. But if you take a bottle up here, there's 2 bottles. You can return there if you like. And what we're going to do is we're going to throw a bottle over here so that we can lure the enemy close to us. But not so far back that he uncovers these dead bodies that we're literally on top of right now. So what we want to do, you can even throw it a little over there to the right so that he might turn his back. See, I'm going at him at the side here, so it was a little risky, but this does work. So if you are having problems with him, throw it over to the right a little bit more. This one here, shoot an arrow into that wall. The guy to the left will move where he's going, and then you want to mantle over this table because most times he's just going to investigate. There's me screwing up the camera, forgive me. There's the character screwing up her knife animation, and then you can just run up to this guy. Normally I do that a little quicker, and this guy doesn't have a chance to turn around, but we did it. We're completely stealthy, and that was one that took me quite a while to figure out how to do that. So we're going to come on down here now. Take care of this guy who's marveling over the mural. Head over yonder. These are pretty individual and easy enemies to take care of. And then we're going to have the next set, which is this. So take this guy out right away. And then what I do is, wow. Now I'm flustered. But wait until this guy goes forward. Take care of his buddy. Did you see how the one that it screwed the animation, how it's all screwed up? Make sure that you take him out in the way that I did there. And then this section's really easy. This is where the checkpoint is. So what I do is I grab a bottle. It's standard. when I first played this game, on the next fight, I inadvertently unspawned all of the enemies by pulling a Ninja Gaiden 2 and running back, but I didn't realize that it was going to happen until poof, they vanished. The whole group of enemies that I was trying to stealth all disappeared and I got a checkpoint. It was one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen. So I've tried to replicate it, but it doesn't work. So in this area, they have our friends, and I think there's just 3 of these guys. I have completely stealthed this room before, but I think it involved using a poison arrow. So I'm going to shoot an arrow far back into there, and these guys should not have seen me, but for whatever reason they did, so I just ran with it. See, there's no way they could physically see me. Watch this. See how far back we are? There's no way they could have saw me, but somehow they did. So I'm just gonna run with it. Like, these enemies disappeared one time, like I was saying, and it was me coming back here to do like the same thing I'm doing now, but maybe they patched it. So anyway, there's Sophia. We're gonna go get the grenade arrows over here. And in your equipment menu, you can fashion resources so that you can carry more of these arrows. I think you can only carry as many as 3 poison arrows. I know you can carry about 8 flame arrows. I'm not sure how many grenade arrows you can carry, but if you're wanting to hold more, make sure you go to your equipment menu and try to fashion another satchel, a bigger satchel, to carry more things. If you can't, it's probably because you lack the resources. So shoot a grenade arrow through the hole in that gate. It's going to push us up here. I believe there's a campfire coming up. Yeah. And then we've got what I think is a really challenging fight. I think all of the fights for me are challenging just because I'm having a hell of a time getting this X-axis to work. Having inverted it, I'm just having a lot of problems with it.
The day I feared.
Now, you might say the easiest answer to that is just to put it on normal rotation, but as I've said before, it keeps screwing up for me either way, so I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't. It's just getting used to something, I think, and sticking with it so that it becomes normal. I don't know about you guys, but this game is really fantastic. It's fun. I'm really into it, and it's just reminding me of like how good these action adventure games can be if they're done right. And I really think this game is done right. It's just got that damning problem of you can't control the sensitivity of the camera. It would be such a better game. In fact, I'm gonna tweet about that when I get off here. I'm gonna fucking tweet about that to these guys over at Crystal Dynamics. Not that it would do much good, but hell, you never know. They've shown that they can be receptive to consumers' requests by the latest patch notes. This cargo box that I'm behind is indestructible, so it's really good. The piece of cover over there to the right is pretty poor. I think there's only one wave here, but it's one of those that kind of prolongs itself by having a lot of enemies here. These bastards chucking grenades, I really hate that. But standing behind that fallen column is actually suicide, so I wouldn't stay there if I were you. And I do have one of the temples that you raid gives you an ability where once you go into critical mode, aka into the gray mode, black and white, they put you back into non-critical mode, but I don't think they give you a full heal. I think they just make the screen not black and white and maybe give you a second chance, but I'll have to look into it a little bit more. I don't think it compromises the difficulty or the run stipulations that I'm doing here. But I did pick that up because I have been doing the tombs, so, and it's not a no upgrade run. So anyway, that wave was over pretty fast. We're gonna come up here now, do some more fights. I've been really getting into like these types of stealth games. You know, whether it's the Splinter Cell games. I'm not really a fan of those games per se. I really do like Splinter Cell Conviction, and I'm contemplating doing a guide for it. If you're interested, if you would be interested in that, let me know. It won't appear on my new series because I have played it before. Anything that I've played pretty extensively, even, you know, beat it halfway or something, is something that I won't cover on my new series. However, if I've played a game and I've only, you know, barely scratched the surface of it, but still have played it, I will still cover it. So I'm really excited about this new series. I hope everybody is too. And maybe I'll post a channel update about it and get some more feedback that way, or maybe we can reach a consensus, because it's not just my series, it's everybody's series. I mean, we got a lot of people out of the woodwork who normally don't comment, and they commented, and I was really impressed about that. Because let's face it, I've come to the realization that a lot of people aren't commenting on my videos just because maybe they're not playing the game at the same time. So I don't expect people to always comment on my videos. So I just wanted to realize that. And I have been feeling kind of bad about, you know, the whole donations thing. When I posted my channel trailer, there was one person, and if you're listening, I'm not mad or anything. It just kind of made me feel bad what the guy said. He said something like, with the amount of times you've asked for money, it might not be a good idea to have a channel trailer that even says the word money on it. And I think he was just being technical, the guy who commented. But it made me feel bad because, you know, it's hard to ask for money. Even though I asked for it, I set aside my pride and basically kind of focused the whole attention and made it so that it was like a donation fundraiser. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You know, nobody had to donate. It was for the people who wanted it. It was for people who wanted to rally to a cause. And for the people who were bitter over it, or who don't like that, all they had to do was ignore it. You know, I don't understand, like, the mentality of somebody who would get, like, legitimately upset that somebody's asking for money. You know, I could see if I was, you know, making a pity party for myself and making people feel guilty, but I wasn't. Anyway, so we've got a few guys coming up towards us now. We are going to have a guy with a shield. I'm going to use a poison arrow on him. So if you don't know, aim assist is disabled on this mode, so you do have to do all of the aiming on your own, which is good because you should be able to do that. you know. Can you imagine if Uncharted had aiming assist? Anyway, he's the last guy, so take him down. We're going to move forward and do a stealth section. The thing I wanted to note about this next part is that I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but if you make a noise in here, one of the enemies will say, "She's here," or something, and Laura will say, "You're damn right I am." Listen. Did you hear anything? I don't have the volume up, so I couldn't hear. But they always say that, and I think it's just an audio engineering bug. They don't hear you, even though they say it. So what I like to do next, though, this is the order that I like to take these guys out in. It's pretty good. You've just got to be pretty quick on these guys. And then here, they're going to give you a checkpoint and you're going to be rushed. And I'm just having extremely hard problems aiming. It sounds like one of the most basic problems you can possibly have, but it's true. You know. You see, when I play this game, I've said it many times, but see, I think there should be separate rotation schemes for aiming. You know, what I mean by that is anytime you're holding the left trigger, and also when you're not, and when you're just moving the right stick. Because when I traverse the world, I like to have the rotation inverted, but when I'm aiming, that is holding the left trigger, I like to have it so that left is left and right is right, not the opposite. And this is a pretty good spot, I think, just to stand here, swap shoulders. Anytime you think you're going to get rushed, put the shotgun on. Like situations like this. And I think that's just about it. We're going to have a shield guy and a heavy. So what I would recommend is to use a poison arrow on them and then finish off the heavy in the way that you're normally accustomed to. And I will see you guys in part 10. Thank you very much for watching, and take care.